and welcome to the Contenders Corner podcast, and we are here to talk everything that is wrestling. So please guys, join us on the Contenders Corner podcast for news, reviews and predictions here on YouTube. And yes guys, please take that small effort to subscribe, turn on those notifications, and again guys, stay tuned for some more wrestling content. And welcome back to the Contenders Corner podcast, and we're here to bring to you another wrestling review. And for the first time in Smackdown's history, two superstars climbed into the demonic structure known as Hell in a Cell to settle an intensely personal rivalry. With the Universal Championship hanging in the balance, was Rey Mysterio able to avenge his son, Dominic, and unseat the head of the table in their pay-per-view worthy main event match? Or did Roman Reigns add another legendary figure to the list of the conquered? But anyway, Rey Mysterio kicks off SmackDown with the unforgiving steel structure known simply as Hell in a Cell hanging ominously overhead and casting an ominous cloud on the night's proceedings. The legendary competitor relived the pain and agony suffered by his son Dominic a week ago. He called Reigns out, wanting to hear from the man himself that he accepted Rey's challenge for the Hell in a Cell match later on that evening. The head of the table emerged from the palatial locker room and informed his special counsel, Paul Heyman, that he tried to be diplomatic, but now he's going to do things his way. But anyway, the Contenders Corner promo rating here, as both of these looked hot, super hot on the mic. But anyway, on the Contenders Corner, we're going to give this a promo rating of 4 out of 5. And Mysterio, as the pissed off, vengeful father, calling out the biggest badass on the roster, was great. Reigns looked hot on the mic, and so did Rey Mysterio himself. Showing up and varying to the matters into his own hands was just as fantastic from both of these men. And then up next, we got Big E, Kevin Owens versus Apollo Crews and Commander Aziz. Anyway, Commander Aziz made his in-ring debut for SmackDown in the night's first match, teaming with the Intercontinental Champion Apollo Crews to battle familiar foes Big E and Kevin Owens, all while the conspiracy-minded Sami Zayn sat in on the commentary with Michael Cole and Pat McAfee. Aziz flattened Big E with the suplex coming out of the commercial break, but as the heels isolated the former IC champion. An inverted suplex by Big E to Crews on the ring apron allowed him to recover enough to tag in Owens. A spirited comeback by the prize fighter failed to fuel the babyfaces to victory, though as well-timed distraction by Zayn's Owens left KO prone to the Nigerian nail as Aziz and Crews picked up the win. And here on the Contenders Corner podcast, we will rate this a 3 out of 5. This was a bit disappointing, and that is only because it was a poorly timed commercial break without much of a sustained heat portion, nor a particularly great babyface comeback, which hurt this match very badly. But anyway, we go on to Matt Corbin and Nakamura. For the 5th time in 6 weeks, Shinsuke Nakamura faced King Corbin yet again, this time in a Battle of the Crown match. Corbin grounded and pounded the artist, working him over with his strength and size advantage. Nakamura fought back through though, and put Corbin down with the Kinshasa to win the match and the crown. After the match, a tearful Corbin sulked while Nakamura celebrated Rick Boogs at the top of the SmackDown stage. And here on the Contenders Corner podcast, we'll give this a 3 out of 5. And again, guys, our thoughts on this, it just feels like repeated crap every week. And from my perspective, this feels like everything these days is just being repeated and slapped in our faces to strain the hell out of our eyes. I think for 6 weeks the WWE Universe have been locked in the hell in the cell with their boring content, repeated storylines, nonsense for 6 weeks long. WWE, just move the fuck on with this shit. But anyway, you can't get any realer than that. And here on the Contenders Corner podcast, if we've got to swear a few times to get a point across, we're gonna have to. And here on the Contenders Corner, we will be real on our feelings, and that is how we feel. I feel like, as a viewer, I've been locked in that hell in a cell with their boring crap shit storylines and the repeated matches every week. 6 weeks long we've seen this crap. But anyway, we move on. SmackDown's Women's Champion Bianca Belair made her way to the ring for a promo ahead of Sunday's title defense against Bayley. After weeks of laughter and being told she's less than, Belair issued a challenge for a match inside Hell in a Cell. Bayley entered the Thunderdome after a brawl around ringside. She delivered the Rose Plant, laying the EST out and standing tall with her title to end the segment. Here on the Contenders Corner podcast, we'll give this a promo rating of 4 out of 5. And again, fantastic to see. And to be honest, guys, I think these two are going to look super, super impressive for the upcoming pay-per-view, Hell in the Cell. And I can't wait to see these two clash and trade blows on that night. But anyway, guys, backstage, Jimmy also issued a promo, approached Roman Reigns and admitted while they will not see eye to eye on everything, they are blood family. The head of the table told his cousin to find brother Ray. And again, this was a great promo, and here on the Contenders Corner podcast, we'll give this a promo rating of 4 out of 5. Will there be a possible faction coming with the now Jimmy offering his allegiance to Roman, stating family comes first, even though they do not agree with everything and they do not see eye to eye on everything? But anyway, this looks super hot. Could we see a potential faction coming in the near future with the head of the table, Roman Reigns? But anyway, we go into Mysterio versus Roman. But before we do that, guys, here are some of the highlights from the Hell in a Cell match.
Via pinfall or submission, and Rey Mysterio, knowing that, brings a steel chair into play. Look at these odds against Roman Reigns, and Roman trying to fight the chair. And now Rey Mysterio, fire extinguisher, blinding the champion, and suddenly Mysterio may have an opportunity early. Proposition for Rey Mysterio, Roman Reigns, and now Reigns, Superman punch, and you heard Heyman screaming.
Say it, and it's the truth. I'll say it every time. One Superman punch with the eyes on.
And now Rey Mysterio struggling to his feet. Mysterio down and out. Rey, though, the fight. Remember, the biggest underdog in the history of WWE. Rey Mysterio, multiple-time world champion. Went for the 6. Rey gonna climb up to the top rope. Rey climbing high. Splash! Mysterio's got an opportunity, but Rey may have hurt himself. Mysterio away. Reigns smells blood. Reigns understands. And look at now. And Rey just taps out. Rey's got it. Oh my God, Roman Reigns again with that guillotine locked in on Rey. Rey tapping out, but again, Rey Mysterio's.
Right, we're back after showing you guys the highlights of that match. Mysterio, fueled by the hatred developed by Reigns' assault on Dominic a week ago, dominated the opening minutes of the match, and he blasted Reigns with a toolbox, wrapped a steel chair around his neck and sent him into the cage. A missed spear sent the champion crashing through a table. Reigns slung Mysterio into the cage, turning the tide in his favour, entering the commercial break. Reigns overwhelmed his opponent until a blind charge in the corner allowed Rey to fight back into the match. He added a splash, driving a chair into the midsection of the champion. Reigns caught Mysterio with a powerbomb, sending him out of the ring and into the side of the steel cage. So after the match, the Tribal Chief tapped him out one more time and said Happy Father's Day to add insult to the injury as the show went off the air. Mysterio threw everything at Reigns in this one, and when he wasn't tossing weapons at his opponent, he was evading the explosive offense of the champion. That was a plan that was destined to last only so long though, as Reigns caught him mid-flight, and from there he ended things in shoot order. The booking was great, the action made sense within the context of the story, and Reigns continued his dominant run atop SmackDown. Some will question why this was pulled from the pay-per-view, and while the answer is known only by those in WWE at this point, it's elevated the significance of this SmackDown episode. And again guys, from our perspective, I think this would have been better viewed and seen on the Hell in the Cell pay-per-view. I think it would have come a lot better. But again, I can see where they went with this, as it was the first time Hell in a Cell would have been shown on the SmackDown in recent history, as it's never been done. But anyway, I think from our standpoint, this would have been a lot better at this Sunday's pay-per-view, Hell in a Cell. It would have made sense. Father's Day, Rey Mysterio wanting to get revenge on Father's Day. It would have looked a lot better from story-wise, from a story standpoint anyway. But anyway, it is what it is. It was still a decent match, and they produced fantastic promos throughout. Mysterio at the beginning of the match, Jimmy Uso during the event as he was offering his allegiance to Roman Reigns. So here on the Contenders Corner, we'll give this a 4.2 out of 5 for the Rey Mysterio versus Roman Reigns at In the Hell in the Cell on SmackDown. But anyway, now we move on, and that is the next one. But anyway, let's go back to Bayley and Bianca Belair for a moment. And again, even though it was a decent promo in the show, and Bayley standing tall, lifting the title, added to the realism of the challenge Belair inflicted. A great promo, and I believe these two will have a slobber knockout of a match at Hell in a Cell. And let's move on to our Hell in a Cell predictions. My predictions: Belair will win and she will retain. We're going to go ahead on this one. I think Charlotte will win at Hell in a Cell, and Alexa to win, but Shayna will join Alexa after the Hell in a Cell to start off a possible faction for Alexa Bliss. Bobby retains on the night. Kevin Owens will win. Cesaro to win. Seth in the Cell, and this will be the highlight top draw of the night, and will spark Cesaro to be pushed to win the Money in the Bank going forward. My predictions for top match of the night, again, Cesaro versus Seth Rollins. From my perspective, given their past bouts at WrestleMania and on SmackDown, also given Cesaro's work, promos and match alongside Roman, I think they will sell this match really well. Night one, this match blew the stadium down, and in my opinion, there wouldn't be no surprises in knowing these two can work really well together. And yeah, and now we go on to the top 5 wrestlers of the night, and we're gonna go with Cesaro being number 1, Seth Rollins being number 2, Belair. Given that WrestleMania match against Sasha, oh my god, that literally blew off the stadium. And to be honest, it will be great to see Bayley wrestle this star in the making. And to be honest, I think these will work well together to bring a hot match in the Cell. Alexa Bliss as well in the top 5. In my opinion, I have loved the work that Alexa has put into her recreation. Sometimes it's felt repetitive and a bit silly at times, but it's telling a story, and she has done this really well. From my perspective, if ever film studios are watching Alexa Bliss, I think they would be queuing to watch Alexa, as she can act pretty damn well. And that is our predictions for Hell in a Cell and our review on Smackdown. And again, guys, stay tuned for more wrestling content in the future. And don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment. Join in on the conversation, guys. Comment below and let's have a conversation. Let's communicate here on our videos or on our live streams. But anyway, guys, we will catch you next time here in the commentary box. I am Jason to bring you a Smackdown review and a Hell in a Cell predictions. We will see you Monday for a Hell in a Cell review. And don't forget, guys, Film Parade is back, and we will be doing next week a film review. So please stay tuned for that as well. See you next time, you awesome crowd, here on Review Geek 3000.